Welcome, everyone, to the Shattered Isles.
I'm Max.
I'm Cassie.
And we are the co-GMs for the show today.
Woo!
We have with us John, playing Kodrog.
Hello there.
And Paige, playing Thomas.
Hi.
Plage. I'm sorry.
That's fine. He had two P's in that sentence. I don't blame you.
Let's see.
Last we left off,
yes.
Our intrepid adventurers were in an away party with Narish, the Krotek, and Arya, the Lycanian. And the four of them managed to find out some information from a gentleman named...
Oh, man.
Did you not get the
I did not get the notebook. Oh, failed again. I'm doing this so that my awesome shirt can be seen
Ragnar.
multiple times.
Right?
No, well, Roagon is who you're looking for, but the
Right.
person who told you that is the one I'm not sure about. Was it Ragnar?
Ragnar, yeah. Ragnar up at the river cottage.
Ah,
Yeah.
yes, excellent. Ragnar.
The only notes that I took.
Hey, somebody took notes.
Yeah, John did. The only
There were
notes that he
two-
took.
There were two R names, and then we have to go behind the mountain where it's like cold and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I told us like, hey, let's float up the river in our boat.
Mm-hmm.
And then we took camp, and then that's where we left off.
Mm-hmm. We left off actually with a conversation between Kodrog and Thomas as Arya and Narish were setting up camp and making something to eat.
The conversation was about crystals.
Crystals to communicate at long distances.
Yes.
Yeah, to be able to find one another if one of us go missing.
Mm-hmm. So we are going to pick up right from that moment. So we've got...
Yeah. So I remember we were clasping in friendship at the end of the last game, right?
The bro handshake where you grab each other's forearm.
And then like,
Yeah.
so like, and then like this
And
thing.
then hug.
Yeah, they hugged.
Excellent. So after our embrace, Kodrog looks up at Thomas. Friend, I realize, thinking back on some of my past comments, I may have offended you in my calling wizards jesters. And for that, I hope that I did not damage our friendship.
Not at all. I'm used to it. I'm actually quite happy that a lot of people here take it with a grain of salt.
Excellent. As long as you know that I am truly in awe of your powers and respect you as an individual and a friend. And we should probably have a drink now before I keep talking.
No, I understand, and that sounds fantastic, actually.
Excellent. I stashed one of my special bottles.
Special bottles of what? Like ale, wine, mead?
It doesn't matter. It's special.
Yeah.
It's
The
fair.
mystery is that it's special. So
You're not wrong.
It's whatever Kodrog wants it to be.
it's a bottle of dwarven mead from
Oh.
my home isle.
Ooh.
Oh,
Wink.
that is special. Wink, nudge, nudge. Ah, that hurt my eyeball doing that.
Oh, don't do that.
Don't wink, compare.
don't
Turn
overwork
your head
your
like
eyeball.
this and just spray saline solution into it.
Oof. That doesn't sound fun.
It's not, but it helps lubricate the eyeball up. The instructions or the information that was given to you by Ragnar was about getting to the dark side of the mountain, or the blue side of the mountain as it's referred to in more folk talk. And being there when the sun sets. And when it happens, you will see the mountain open up.
Mm-hmm.
And so you guys had head into the inner part of the isle. I don't remember if we had actually made it there or not.
We made it to
Yeah.
the
The
lake.
Yeah,
That
the
lake
in the
area.
middle.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, and they made their camp there, and because it was getting a little late, right?
Yeah.
And then they have
Yeah,
to,
it was like
And then they-
after sunset. So
And then they must go round the mountain.
Yeah, that's not going to take long.
Not too far, but there's going to be definitely a lot of climbing tomorrow and wandering through the remnants of the jungle because now you're getting away from your boat. So Arya and Narish are able to set up in a camp and gather some supplies. Or sorry, use some supplies as well as gather some local bits and pieces. I do believe Narish is the one with survival. Did we give him that one?
No, we said
talked
that
about it.
they don't have survival
They
because
don't have
they just
survival.
are paid mercenaries.
They just they're going to make
They're
food
not
happen.
trackers. They're not trackers.
They're not.
they're gonna make food happen. All right.
Yes,
I mean, we have like trail rations.
we
Exactly.
do. Granola bars. They start handing out granola bars.
Cookie has like the most nutritionally packed, and also densest and most difficult to eat hardtack biscuits
Yeah.
known
Yeah.
in all of the
So
void.
really what's happening is that they brewed some tea over the fire and they've been soaking the hardtack biscuits in the tea for the past half hour
To soften
to
it up.
soften it up enough to
Yeah.
make it edible where you're not going to break your teeth.
It's funny too because I was just thinking of like, man, I wonder if everyone on the ship just eats them the way they are, whereas Thomas is just like heating it up with magic to make it nice and soft, and then just like munches on it easily. Like,
Yeah. For the most part, people are smart enough to realize that they need to, at least get a little bit of moisture in there and let it expand a little bit. Some people are just like, whatever, and
Like the doctor.
yeah, like the
The
doctor
doctor doesn't need to heat it up. He just
No.
shoves it into his face hole and starts digesting it.
rips it up with his mandibles.
I'm sure that people have come up with some like really creative repurposing. Like, you take one of the biscuits and you crush it up with
Yeah.
stones, and then you like reconstitute it into pancakes or something.
then or you like crush it up and then you mix it in with like I don't know, hot liquid, and then it makes it very
A
like
porridge.
thick.
Yeah. Like a
Yeah,
porridge.
it makes
there you go.
it make like a porridge or like a I don't know,
Porridge biscuits.
gravy that you just eat. Like
Yeah.
It's
So
just
there's
solidified gruel.
all sorts of ways in order to enjoy Cookie's hardtack.
You were just hovering over the stop button a lot, and I was
Oh,
just
I'm
like,
sorry.
"Oh, she might accidentally click, and the show would be over."
It would be over, yeah.
that would be terrible. Then you wouldn't realize until much later.
Right. No, well, thankfully we have an audience that would let us know these things.
That's true. That's
Yep.
true. They just wouldn't be like, "Oh, well, show's over today. Going home."
That was a
Never mind.
strange ending. So yeah, so there you guys are camped by this lake. It's pretty pristine. It's a nice countryside. You have some hardtack that's been boiled in tea, and Arya is gathering fronds from the nearby forest and making a bed out of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's her plan for something to sleep on. Because you guys don't have bedrolls, I assume. You guys aren't adventurer packs, right?
True.
So she's made herself a bed, and then promptly, as everybody's digging into their tea-soaked biscuits, ask who wants to share her bed tonight. She's made a nice big one. There's plenty of room for at least one more.
Oh man.
She'll look at Thomas first.
Thomas is looking at Narish, waiting for him to be like, "I'll do it," and then Thomas just goes, "Oh no, thank you. I'll find my own bed, even if I have to sleep in the boat."
As you look toward Narish and whatnot, and he's eating the tea biscuit, he looks up to you and goes, "Oh, that invitation isn't... You didn't say anything." He just, responds,
Yeah.
"The invitation is generally open for others than myself." And he gives a nod. And, Kodrak, you have no idea what just happened. But there was something.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm actually like I'm getting the bottle of mead ready, and I don't know. I guess I'm collected everybody's jacks, and I'm portioning it out. And I'm just like thinking about, oh man, I've got to arrange a watch schedule, and I've got to, do a mental checklist of what I'm supposed to be doing because I'm in charge.
This
So
is
I've
true.
totally missed it. I totally missed it.
All right. So, after eating and drinking, and that moment where Thomas, do you want to engage the conversation again, or just like wait for nothing to be said?
I mean,
Yeah,
Thomas basically speaks up and he goes, "No, I will find a bed on my own and/or sleep in the boat if I have to."
yeah,
And then
so-
he'll kind of look at Kodrog and realize that probably he's like muttering as he's pouring his mead.
Yeah.
he's-
So, yeah, so I turn back around with the 4 jacks of meat, and I'm passing them out. I was like, okay, so we should think about a watch schedule. I think that one person should be enough to watch. But if we have pairs, then, obviously that's twice as many eyes. How long should we be here? I don't know. We'll probably leave first thing in the morning. We could do... Yeah, 2-person shifts. That sounds right. We'll only be here for, 8 hours. Then we'll
We're
pack up and
all
head
gonna
out.
need some sort of sleep, so
Right.
Naresh will say, I'm good with only about an hour to 2 hours worth of sleep.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you'll go last then.
Yes, and I was like, like looking at, she's like flexing her hands so that like the claws extend a little bit.
She's kneading her bed. Is that
No,
what's that?
this is
She's
just like-
making
like-
her own biscuits.
This is just stretching out her fingers and just looking at them like,
Mm.
fancily. I can take a cat nap.
excellent.
Get
Well,
it? Get it?
Thomas is gonna look at her and really like.
That's
Is she
good,
serious?
Arya. That's good.
Kodrog's like, am I allowed to laugh at that?
Yeah, exactly. Thomas is like, wait, is she serious? Is she not? Is there a sort of thing with that race that they can take short naps?
Because I'm so used to Keshans, and Keshans do not like jokes like that.
Yeah. The only one who did is gone out of this group, so get used to it.
Naresh seems, as the moment's passing, Naresh is definitely laughing. Ha ha ha! That's a good one. Ha ha! Cat nap. And takes the jack from Kodrog and begins smelling it.
Oh, Thomas is definitely drinking his.
Arya and I will take the second half. You and Thomas take the first.
Sounds good.
Was my thoughts exactly. To a successful away party.
Yes. So
Yeah.
you spend the evening, casual conversation. At one point, Naresh will probably say, "Is like, I guess no one's going to be joining us tonight."
Yeah, he says, yeah, oh yeah. Well, I guess no one's going to join us tonight. It's just you and me then.
It's quite all right, dear.
Sorry, duty calls.
No offense, I feel like that's a situation where I need to be completely hammered to bed 2 other people at the same time.
He slides his cup over to you. What's up?
And
And that's not tonight, sir. He pushes it back. Nor ever. Hopefully.
Sounds like a party for next shore leave.
Sound exactly like that, Kodrog.
I'll let you know when I give up everything morally, and then I'll do it.
Ooh, morals. How
Wow.
quaint.
I'm sure those kind of things can be worked around.
Everything can be worked around.
Well, let's not waste too much more time. I'm ready for my cat nap.
enjoy your evening stargazing.
Mm.
So they're gonna go and curl up on the little frond nest that was made. And
Excellent.
They take their first watch nap.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So the two of you. Thomas, do you actually stay up, or do you, like, hang out for a couple hours and then be like, hey, go drug, you got this, and then...
Yeah, he'll stay up. He'll stay up for a little bit. Depending on, you know, I don't know if conversation goes, and I don't want my, you know. But the thing is, I don't think Thomas would be... He doesn't know this area. I don't think he'll be paranoid. I think there's definitely going to be moments where, like, they're going to be talking about something, and then Thomas will open up one of his cheesy smut books and read that. And then he'll probably yawn and stretch and be like, all right, well, I'm going to turn in. I'm exhausted. Plus, I need sleep as a wizard. So, like,
Gotta get
use
your
a lot of
spells back.
magic.
Heck yeah.
Understandable. Yeah, I can keep on the last of the watch. There's only like an hour left before I have to wake the others.
You're very perceptive. I'm not, you know, somebody who navigates the ship. I was, you know, always under the docks organizing books and foods, so.
It's like, oh, I cheat when I have to tell time, and I pull out my really fancy dwarven pocket watch. And it's like,
Ooh.
yeah.
I'll let you do it.
Are you sure? You do first one, I do second one?
Okay, I'll do the first one.
Would you
Or not.
allow
Someone-
Would you allow Thomas to take it and look at it?
Oh yeah, I trust you, friend.
So he
So
he
close.
takes it and smashes it. He takes it.
Son of a bitch.
He looks over it and admires it. How common is like watches in this universe?
That probably cost someone in his family about 10, maybe 20 gold pieces.
Okay, so they're common in Marseille then?
In Marseille, yeah, they're common. They are common enough that clockwork is a thing, but they're just not cheap.
Yeah, generally
It's like buying an iPhone.
Like personal time tellers are definitely still rare everywhere, honestly.
Everywhere, but expensive, you know.
Yeah.
So you can get one, but you're making an investment.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, Thomas admires it, and he'll be like, "I've only seen a couple of these in Marseille, usually on very wealthy noblemen," and I'll hand it back.
Well, everyone you've seen was dwarven made. It's one of our secret trades.
I would imagine so. Marseille is very much of, well, accessibility. If something can be shipped towards them or bought instead of them making it, they're going to do so.
Oh, truly. I mean, I remember making trips through Marseille. Pastries were exquisite.
Yes. Yeah, the food I do miss. People not so much,
All
but
right.
the food definitely.
So you heading to? Are you planning to stay up the entire shift there, Thomas?
With Kodrog?
Yes.
If they get caught up in the conversation, yes. If not, no.
Okay. It sounds like you guys are caught up in your conversation. So awareness check for the two of you.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Asking for dice rolls, we're in trouble.
We're fine. Awareness. Right, I have
Yeah.
a crap ton of awareness.
10 versus a 14.
By 4, awesome.
Okay. 8 out of 13.
By 5.
Yeah, thank you.
During your conversation of food, Marseille, you talk in hushed tones. The fire has died down and does not illuminate too much, casting only bits of light and no shadows. So it's very aware to the two of you when you figure out that there are onlookers in the nearby trees. Tiny sets of eyes have moved into the treetops and are watching you guys. You count about 8 small creatures. You have no idea what they are because they're moving through the shadows. And they're not in one group. They've split up into a group of 3, 2, and 3.
Like to surround us?
Yes.
Hmm.
I mean, you don't have tactics, so you can only assume that, right?
That's really what you should have said.
I will
mean-
say that part then, because that's important. If you don't have tactics, you can only assume they're trying to surround you.
Well, yeah, I'm only assuming. I'm not being like, oh, I know this
I have
invasive
tactics.
maneuver. Like, Thomas being the fucking general of the group. No, he would probably just go, oh, yeah, no, they're making sure that exits are, locked off.
So should I make a tactics roll to decide if we're being surrounded or if it's just, like curious animals?
I wouldn't say that's necessary. These look
Okay.
they're only on one side. They really haven't flanked too much. What would be considered a flank? Unless they have tiny eyes and very large bodies, these must be small creatures, which would
Okay,
be
like
kind of
cat
creepy.
size?
Yeah, like cat-size eyes.
Oh, okay.
Can you imagine that? Cat-size eyes, but the body the size of a hippo.
Maybe like a spider.
I'm imagining it now.
Oh.
Kind of terrifying it.
I mean, I think I've come across
Spider
something in
hippo.
Bloodborne, so I'm cool. Like,
Yeah, Kodrog would not be too concerned about cat-sized creatures.
yeah. Well, Thomas would, because there's how many?
About 8 of them, as you can see. You made about 5,
Yeah.
yes. You can see all 8.
Yeah. It's kind of one of those things where, like, oh, one bee is fine, but if you have a swarm of bees, that's not cool. It's the same
Right.
thing with ants. One ant is fine, but if you have an army of ants, you're fucked.
Do you want to do
So.
anything about your onlookers?
Well, I do want Thomas to kind of, as he's either having a conversation with Kodrog or, like, I don't know, their conversation's changed and Thomas is explaining the plot to one of his smut books. And and then he'll kind of like go quiet a little bit and then look past Kodrog, like obviously not looking at him and engaging with him, and hopefully that's enough to cue him in to what Thomas sees. Because Thomas doesn't know if Kodrog can see it yet. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, okay.
So I thought that I might roll a sense motive roll to see if I could read Thomas's discomfort.
Of course.
I got an 8 out of 14.
do you want me to roll against that
You can write
with
some
I don't know
fears on it.
something?
I mean, I don't know. I don't think you'd be trying to hide
No.
the
Yeah,
fact
no.
that so. So yeah, I will. I'll noticing your discomfort, but like not
Yeah.
wanting to call attention to it.
Yeah.
I will. I'll. I think I might need to excuse myself, then step away for a minute, and I'll
Yeah.
kind of clomp over in the direction of one of the groups of eyes and make a lot of noise in the tall grass and relieve myself.
One of them, the group of 3 to the far away from Kodrog, immediately drops out of the tree, hits the ground, and into the grass it runs. What? No, you got something better?
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
Like that. No.
Totally,
Like-
this is how this works.
So they do drop to the ground. They drop out of sight. You see like a little, somewhat rustling in the tall grass. Kodrog, the ones that you are closer to, seem to scatter. You don't see anything drop to the ground, so you think maybe you frightened off those groups right there. Hopefully. You hear like a chirping.
Yeah, I would say chirping. They chirp.
Not like a bird chirp, but like how cats do that weird chirping thing,
Like a squeaker
like
almost.
a squeak, like they're trying to they're communicating.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's terrible.
So
God, that would be scary.
That's
to
the
hear
sound
that.
I make now.
yeah, so you hear that kind of chittering going on, and it only lasts for about 5 seconds or so, before you don't see any of the other ones that are close to where you decided to make your relieve yourself dance.
I have a
Make
question.
my water.
Yeah.
I have a question. Do I hear this chirping?
Oh,
Sure, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it's nighttime.
It's nighttime. It's kind of quiet. The only thing you can probably hear is like a predatory
Bugs.
bird of some type.
Oh, man.
Bugs and owls.
Can I roll that's right, monsters?
Yes.
Knowledge monsters. Da-da-da.
I'm kind of thinking now that it's like those like little Compiosaurus from like the third Jurassic Park movie.
Oh
Second
yeah,
Jurassic
the
Park movie?
compies.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. 2, 4. Well, actually, 6, 8, 10. 10 out of 13, I think. Yeah, 13.
The sound does not remind you of any monsters that you've studied, and doesn't sound in the degree of, like, your training is about dangerous monsters, and these don't sound dangerous at this point in time. If that makes any
Okay.
sense.
Yeah, don't end
Yeah.
it like a question mark.
I'm
End
trying
it like
really.
a statement.
They don't sound dangerous.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So they're like in a curious stage, and not like a. They're like clickety clack, and not like clickety clack. You know, like for attack.
Yes, I would say I agree with that. Yes.
Yeah, Thomas will kind of adjust and look in the direction where Kodrog is, going, and then I'm gonna look around.
All right, so you're not looking at Kojak. You're looking around to kind of get in. Keep an eye on him, but you're looking around to see what happened to the rest of them, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they got good awareness rolls, so I don't think that
No.
they're going to sneak up on
No, I
them.
don't. No, I don't think so either. So from like a little further away than Kojak, and even a little further away than you saw the eyes before, you see what is maybe like 3 very tiny figures, kind of like moving.
Humanoid, tiny
Yeah,
humanoid figures.
Yeah, moving very cautiously towards your encampment.
But they're not on 2 legs.
They are going on 4s, and yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I was thinking, like, are they miniature centaurs? And then I had to, like, oh no, they're like bent over.
Miniature centaurs. That's awesome.
No.
Miniature centaurs.
Maybe one day,
Maybe one day.
not this
Oh
day,
my
but
God.
one
So
day.
creepy.
Guys, we got
Oh.
attacked by miniature centaurs. I kept one
Side-
look.
Side note, whenever I think of centaurs, I highly recommend, chat, you Google Absalom for Pathfinder and read up the history about how centaurs came over to kill all the horses because they believed the horses were invaders.
Oh my goodness.
It's 100% true, and when I had a character that was living in Absalom, I was just like, I'm sorry, that's their history? So, anyway, I find it funny. Anyway, Thomas is going to... when I see them, do I recognize what kind of monsters they are, if they're monsters?
I would assume so.
Well, they aren't monsters.
But they're not monsters.
Yeah,
That's
so
the thing, like,
it's
if
more
they're
of-
not, because I'm rolling monsters.
They're human beings.
Yeah, so you
I'm sorry.
you don't recognize them as any monster that you've studied before.
Okay.
I'm starting to like loudly hum a sea shanty tune while I finish my business out here in the tall grass, stomping around.
All right. Well,
You got by. I've got a description because I've watched this on YouTube.
okay,
before.
I got nothing. I'll let you do it. Like, however you want to roll into this. Because, I mean, at this point in time, it's who goes next.
Yeah. So, Kodrog, I'm sorry. What did you say you were doing? I apologize.
He's humming loudly.
I'm humming a sea shanty
Are you
loudly.
still just standing right where you're at?
Well, no, like when I'm done, I'm gonna clomp around back to the campsite.
Okay.
Just like making loud noises, shuffling my feet because I figure that there's just little critters about that want to be scared away.
Mm-hmm. You make a kind of wide angle walking back to the camp. And you and Thomas both see three small creatures that have, gotten past the taller grass. They walk a little strange on kind of all fours, but most of their weight's being carried on their back legs. And
Okay.
as they get a little closer, and they're about probably three meters or so away from where your encampment ring kind of area really starts. So they're kind of they've stopped, and you see their necks are just kind of moving a little bit, like they're trying to look around and see what's there, like very, very curious little creatures.
Oh man. Did you guys say that the fire was dying?
Yes.
Yeah, the fire's low, so it's not
low.
to draw a
It's
lot
not
of attention.
going to draw a lot of light on them, but perhaps you might be able to see them a little better if you either stoke the fire up a little bit, or get a little closer to them,
Or cast a spell.
or cast a spell.
I was thinking of waiting until they get close, and then Thomas just twirling his hand and lighting the fire and telling them that it's rude to sneak up on people.
So, yeah, Kodrog wants to pretend that he doesn't notice them
Mm-hmm.
and just calmly go and stoke the fire
Okay.
so that it provides more light.
Okay. Yeah. So you move closer to your encampment, and as you move closer, they kind of all jump and kind of spread out a little bit, because they're kind of watching you, watching them, watching that, watching this, and you see they're very active, and they move in a way where they're trying to get a better view of what's going on in this little space that you guys have created.
It's like a cat when they do this with their necks to look.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Up
think
and
that's a
over
good
things.
description. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'll make eye contact with Thomas and do a little winky head motion in the direction that I see them, so that
Yeah.
hopefully he knows that I know that I see them.
Yeah, he'll give you a knowing look.
It's like the question. I mean, probably, maybe.
I got the description.
Okay.
All right. With the campfire catching up, before you appear to be slightly hunched over, tiny,
Simians.
fur-covered humans
Simian.
with tails.
Yeah.
They have a human shape, and
not really.
But they have fur all over their body, and they're small, tiny.
Oh, are they like lemurs?
Lemurs. Wait, so they're
I love
they're
Lemurs.
No.
Human. Yeah, that's your best description.
human-like?
Human-like. Arms,
All right.
legs, walking on all they're walking on all four. They have tails,
They're
right?
monkeys.
Yeah.
Tails.
Yeah, they have tails.
They're monkeys because they're putting their weight on their back legs. And
Oh,
I hate monkeys.
wow. Like personally, or
Personally,
Thomas does?
Thomas, I don't know. I don't think Thomas would like him either. No, it's just that I guess it doesn't sound racist, but I guess if they're trained well enough, sure, but they're still one, wild creatures, and two, they're fucking messy as fuck.
Yeah, that's true. That is very
that's what
true.
I don't. They're disgusting.
All right. Well, as you guys come to the realization, these things spread out.
They're
Yeah. And start heading into one of them starts heading towards your pack.
yeah. They
Oh,
are moving.
no!
They're moving forward. They're moving closer. They can see a little bit better. You two are not moving. You don't seem threatening at this point. So they're kind of hopping, and they're very active.
So
I'm
I'm
going to-
gonna. Sorry, you go first, Thomas.
I'm going to cast Mage Hand and lift our packs.
And
You won't be able to get all packs, but you'll be able to
'cause
lift
it's
at least
5 pounds.
one.
It's just 5 pounds.
You'll be able to at least lift your packs.
Yeah.
so I'm gonna snatch one of the burning branches out of the fire and prepare to wield it as a deterrent.
Okay.
Okay.
So one pack lifts in the air, the dwarf arms himself with a burning stick, and the monkeys
They start making noise.
Start making more noise.
Yes.
And the rest of them will drop from the trees.
No.
No? This is the scouting
this
system.
this is the. Trust me, I know.
Okay.
I've watched
Okay.
YouTube videos of urban monkeys, and it's insane.
All right.
Okay.
fair
Oh
enough.
no.
Oh, right. You shared that one
Yeah.
with me.
No.
So the three that are there are, they're very loud, and they're like, they've raised themselves up, so they're kind of like, like a come at me bro kind of stance thing, and so they kind of
I'm
like,
coming.
and they're jumping from side to side, kind of moving closer and then moving back as you kind of like start moving closer themselves. And that's when you realize how many of them are behind you right now.
Kodrug, your tactics kick in. Oh, shit.
No. Oh, okay. So my plan is to dual wield burning branches while making the most loud and grotesque noises I can imagine.
So, I don't know if anyone has seen this, but I watched a show. It was about how animals are evolving to adapt to urban settings. And in this, there is a large pack of I don't think it was lemurs, but it was
They're not lemurs.
but it was another like a Rhesus monkey, I think.
Yeah.
Packs of them go in and they like distract, and then others will come in and just grab like one thing and then run away real fast. And mostly around like it's geared towards like the food vendors and things like that. So they're so smart that they know what they're kind of like looking for. These ones maybe don't know exactly what they're looking for, but they've smelled something that smells like food, and they like easy meals because let's face it, everybody likes an easy meal.
Yep.
And so as you are wielding these, you move closer to the other one, to the three in front of you, and then you realize, oh my gosh, there's more. Then you grab another thing, and then you kind of like jump backwards, and you see like this whole ballet of 8 tiny creatures that are now like moving closer, moving backwards, moving closer, moving backwards, moving closer, until finally one of them gets to the tiny little pot that's kind of left over
No.
from the hardtack stuff that you made,
Breakfast.
and they stick their hand in there, in the pot. So they stick their hand in the pot, and then they just pull it out, and you see like the glob of food that's stuck to their hand right now, because like, let's face it, it was all mush at that point. So they've scooped in,
Like
and
hardened around
you
the.
hear like this triumphant like shout,
found
like
it.
I found it, and then like runs away on 3 legs, holding his prize high in the air. 2 others follow, and they start trying to take it off him. So then it's like a little bit of a fight now for who has these, who gets the food. They don't care about the packs. They care about maybe the one
grabs
pack,
the
like
pot and starts trying to drag it
tries,
away.
So one tries to grab the pot, and of course, that one's close enough where if you would like to, you could actually strike it itself,
Or
So-
mage hand the pot away.
or mage hand the pot away. It's you realize they are not here for you. They are here for the smelly good stuff that you came with.
They heard about Cookie's world famous
sure
hard
did.
text too.
They sure did, and they want to try it for themselves.
What's that? I used it once. What's that spell where I can just shout at things and it like pushes stuff? I know you made it up,
Yes.
Max.
Yes. Oh man, I don't have access to the clicker, and I'd have to dig through a bunch of files. But I know what you're talking about.
but you know it, yeah.
It was about a mana, and you could make a really loud, booming voice. About 2 mana, you could push back small things.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I want to do. Because they don't see us as a threat right now, and I want to be threatening enough where they just book it and leave us alone. I don't care if Nareesh and Arya wake up.
Okay.
Yeah, why aren't I threatening? I don't understand.
Well, because they're not trying to attack you. They're just trying
Oh,
to
yeah.
circumnavigate you to get to the good stuff.
All right, so you're going to do shout. Does John want to strike that one with the stick?
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
Melee. It's not a normal weapon, so your skill drops by 1.
Yeah, 1.
But just remember to add in your combat. if you don't have it factored in already.
Wait, add in my.
Yep. It's
Oh,
been
we
a
have
while
7
since
mana?
we've actually used fighting and stuff, so
Yeah.
gotta remember that.
It's just like I don't even understand. It's really cool. It's so cool to watch.
Yeah, monkeys are smart.
My favorite interaction between humans and animals is where the people get out of their cars in the tiger enclosure, and the tigers come up to play tag with them.
So I got 11 on a 13.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, so you get a good swipe through. And I'm pretty sure you probably hit their butt, like their lower hip area. So you're like, and they kind of they lose the pot. It kind of like flings with them for a little bit, but then they're like, oh my god, we're actually being attacked. Somebody hit me. Oh god, and so that one screeches and scampers off. A couple that were near him try to move in and just like one of them manages to get their hand in the pot before Thomas does his loud booming "get the fuck out" shout.
That's pretty much what he says. Like,
All right.
So out of the 8, 2 were successful in sticking their hands into Cookie's hardtack pudding.
That's what we're calling it.
I mean, my brain took that as a sexual euphemism, but that's okay. We can call it that.
And while all of the others,
Totally
like
you would use
the
that.
sound, the attack, the fire starting to move around as Kodrog, your melee stuff comes into comes into focus, and you're like, yeah,
Yeah, no more scaring them, just hitting them with hot
exactly,
branches.
because apparently they don't scare easy.
Even with like a loud voice.
Yep.
Yeah.
With your spell and Kodrog's actions of flame choreography, they scatter. 2 of them were successful, the rest were not, but they run
They leave?
into the night. Yes.
Okay,
And
good.
probably they're going to go around the 2 that were victorious and help them eat.
Help them eat.
Narish and Arya will immediately pop up and begin looking around to see what's going on.
I think that they would pop up and grab their weapons, like they're in
Yeah.
the combat ready the pose that protects both of them while they look and see what's going around.
It is really quiet now. The sounds of owls and other things have stopped.
Even insects. Everything was scared by that booming voice.
Sorry.
Everything but the monkeys.
Everything.
No, they were scared. They ran off
That's why they
because
ran
of
off.
it.
Yeah.
Their pants.
They're
Yep.
being attacked.
Yep.
Loud noises and
Loud
fire
noises
sticks.
and fire sticks. Nobody wants to do
Fire
that.
stick.
These
Oh.
beasts are scary now. We need to go. We need to go.
Yeah. So yeah. I'll put my branches back in the fire, stoke it up some more. I think it's watch change time.
Thomas just goes, yeah, yeah. Like, grabs his book, grabs his pack, moves to the boat, sits
Alright.
in the boat.
Keep an eye out for the locals. They have a taste for cooking.
Narish will give a nod. He comes walking into campground without any clothes on.
That's cool. Whatever.
No, he would have clothes. Why would he do that? That's dumb.
I'm not impressed.
They're on the
I'm
job
kind
right
of
now,
impressed.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, hey, you know what? Like, when you're being boarded, it doesn't matter if you're wearing clothes or not.
Yeah.
That's true.
You're grabbing your sword.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, he might not be wearing armor. Maybe he doesn't wear a whole lot underneath his armor. That's cool.
He's got his loincloth on.
It's
so you could be going for
freaky.
a nighttime bath.
Yeah. It's true. There is a lake right there.
I was gonna say, there is a lake.
Yeah.
So.
A late night swim would be romantic.
Oh, he's not going for a swim. He's just going for a bath. That way he can be all cleaned up.
Yep.
All right.
He's wearing his censored bar.
You guys lay down. The boat is a bit hard to sleep in, but you do sleep. And for a period of time, it's good rest. You can't really hear too much outside the boat. And Kodrog, of course, you find it easily to crash out.
I'm going to take advantage of the bed that's already made.
Okay, cool. Hours pass, or at least that's what it feels like, because you're being woke up by Narish, Kodrog. Morning. Sun rises soon.
Oh, good. Is there anything left of the leftovers for breakfast meal?
Yes.
Good work.
Thomas just sits up in the boat, and he looks very tired, and his like hair is sticking up a different direction.
Mm-hmm.
And he just yawns and goes, "Did anybody visit us last night again?"
I was like, yes, but all you have to do is just give them tiny little morsels and they leave you alone.
Arya was feeding them.
They're gonna follow you, you know that, right? Like it's a cat.
That's fine. They're so cute.
Ugh.
Maybe we can bring one on the ship with us. I wonder if the captain will let it happen. We should ask the captain if we could have a pet.
I think this is a great idea. What do you think, Kodrog?
Has there ever been a history of any pet on the ship other than that cat that we brought on?
I was
for
gonna say
eating rats?
the cat that is
There
gone.
was the cat that had rats, and then there was the tiny cat that you guys rescued as well. So yes,
Oh yeah.
there is a precedent.
Which
for
Thomas
pets.
technically still has.
Mhm.
It's in his
Yeah.
It's
purse.
just in his cabin.
Yeah.
In the cabin
pet-
where there is
precedent.
no food.
So yes, there's
I fed
definitely
him.
precedent. Some of the void bats, the bats that like normally just kind of they hang out in the void. There is a roost of them in the on the ship. So that's kind of a pet too. So I would say yes, there are precedents. Nothing like that before. Larry's a pet. So
Yeah.
barely
true.
decent,
Context.
nice one.
It's true. I
Um,
mean, it sounds like all of the animals that are on the ship, though, have helped out in
They
some
do
way.
serve a purpose.
I think Thomas's cat, I forgot what he named him, but Thomas's cat is the only like luxury pet that is allowed.
yeah.
Well, not
Oh.
not that is allowed, but that's the only one that's there right now. Unless you count the doctor's leeches, because he really
Yes,
loves those.
definitely.
He does love them.
Definitely. He's
Um,
definitely named them. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna put Rika on your nipple today."
Whoa!
My brain's in a mood. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and also there was that time when Larry smuggled on a little piglet, like the little tiny teacup ones, or at least he thought it was a teacup one, and then it grew up.
Then he
And
grew
then
up.
we had bacon.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and that's when Cookie had dinner.
Yeah, if you can tame one, I'm sure you can bring it aboard. Whether or not it stays aboard is beyond my call, though.
Excellent. We will see if one wants to come with us, and then we will ask the captain.
Thomas is muttering to himself, "Please, please, Jason, please say no." Like, please say
I don't know, like, Kodrog is imagining training them to work in the rigging. Like,
God, could you imagine? That would be neat.
I mean, it's technically possible. It depends on the race of monkey, I think.
So, yeah. Nice morning.
yeah. I think that we would eat rather quickly and
Yep.
pack
up
up
quick
and
Yeah.
and take
head
the
out.
supplies that you need from the boat and then make your way.
Yep.
Following the
All right,
And-
so the question
Hmm.
is, do you take the short way or do you take the long way?
And here's what we're going to premise this with. The short way looks like it's going to be really steep. The long way doesn't look steep. It looks like it'd be a nice steady grade up, but it's going to be the long way around the mountain. Might even be like a whole day's worth of walking.
To be fair, we have to get there when the sun sets, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we might as well take the long way. If it's gonna take a whole day of walking, we might get there just in time.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I mean, they're not that big, but Thomas is in heels, So
You did not bring appropriate footwear.
I did not know we were gonna go hiking.
Okay, so yeah, we'll go the long way, I guess. Slow and steady gets us there on time. So
All right. So that means they're going this way.
or this
But-
way.
Oh,
But
yeah, that's,
before we-
that's true. One.
before we leave, though, so if any supplies that we have to leave in the boat,
Yes. I'm
I would
counting.
want to like anchor the boat offshore so that we can swim to get the boat, and all of our other supplies are safe, like not ashore.
Okay, so you're gonna be okay, that makes sense. I got you.
Yeah.
Probably smart, considering the locals.
Yeah, they get handsy.
Hopefully they don't swim.
Well, you know.
I mean, if they do, well, you tried your best.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
true.
I took as many precautions as I could.
Sometimes bears are just gonna get the honey, you know?
Yup.
Especially when they don't wear
Right.
pants.
So the first 2 hours to 4 hours worth of walking is through light forest and jungle with pretty heavy terrain. As far as it goes, large rocks and boulders. So this used to be a really tall, wonderful mountain, and then it blew off one side of it. So you guys are on the side that got blown out, and now that's just a big lake.
Cool.
As
Oops.
I will let you take
Hello.
care of it. After about 4 hours of walking through this forest and hills, it begins flattening out to light scrubs, brush, small trees, and grasslands. You come across some grazing animals with antlers that, upon you guys moving in their direction, they just run off. And Arya and Narish have been entertaining, like, during the walking process. Arya has been tossing out like bits of bread or handing them off to little ones to try to see them follow, but they're not really following.
No, they aren't.
They follow through some of the trees, but not all the way. So about now, gets to lunchtime, and past lunchtime, you guys are cutting through this lowlands, I do believe it was called, and you're starting to head up more sharp inclines. Those grazing animals with horns that you saw are not alone. You guys can see from the distance that there is a large, like, predator cat that is watching them. And so as you guys are moving along, you see these animals. The animals run and whatnot. You make eye contact with it's about the size of, like, a panther. And it's
So about the size of Kodrog.
so about the size of Kodrog, and it has its skin tone and whatnot match more of the grass than anything. But you catch it when it's like walking between patches. It's much larger than that cat you have on the ship. So it might eat that cat on the ship for a snack, because that's how big it is,
Wow. And that's a big cat on the ship.
It is.
Yeah, that cat comes up to your waist on the ship.
This
Way
cat.
bigger than a house cat.
This cat is.
That cat is not anywhere close to a house cat.
So, being more cautious as you guys move forward, knowing that you've seen this thing, I'm assuming you guys are going to make some sort of effort to keep eyes out for large cats moving through the grass.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. So now we're at the point during the travel, you guys have to start making climb rolls or athletic checks
Ooh.
and awareness checks as well as you search through the high grass, making sure no cat the size of a dwarf is trying to eat you.
Wow. So I don't have climb or athletics.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't
guess
have
it's
athletics.
a good thing you guys decided to go around the mountain.
Yeah, we're sailors, not mountaineers.
Exactly.
I don't even see climb, so, and I'm assuming I don't have it. So
So
Oh,
I
my
got an
goodness.
8
Okay.
on a nothing for athletics.
Do you have any rope?
Climb. I've always got line.
Well, you're not on a ship. It's rope now.
I got 12 out of 13 for my awareness.
Okay.
And
What did you get
then-
for your...
Athletics.
I mean, so I don't have rope technically listed on my possessions, mainly because I don't have a list of possessions.
I
that
got
I can see
11
right
out
now.
of my athletics.
All right.
I'll be right back, too. I gotta let out my cat cheese.
All right.
I will roll for Narish. He has
I match.
he's got a 10 out of 13.
No, they both have. Oh yeah, that's right.
So
Yeah.
Narish is having no problem. He will actually take the rope and move ahead of you guys to secure it in needed places. He will climb a sheer face to get up a place without doubt. And Arya, of course, can acrobatic her way around other
Yeah,
situations.
she can leap from spot to spot, and when they're a little bit more precarious. But you don't really see her pulling herself up in order to get places.
You got a 7, John?
8.
8. Okay. Well, if you don't have the skill, it's a 5. So you missed by 3. So your climb is really slow. But to your benefit, because the rope exists, we'll say that you only missed by 2. Thomas, on the other hand, you're tied to the rope and they pull you up.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I would imagine Thomas tries, and then he somehow starts to fall, and then the rope somehow ties around his ankle, and he just goes, "Alright, just pull me up!" as he's holding his hat.
You fell a couple times, and then they decided, you know what? So Ari,
No. He grabs a hold of the rope. The rope's tied up. All right, now start pulling yourself up. And you're holding it and you go, You need to pull harder, Narish will say, so that you go up, and then you reach with the next arm.
I am trying! I am pulling harder!
You know, all of the upper part of your body.
I am!
So then Arya will come down and tie the. I don't know what the name of the knot is, but there's a style of tying where it's like underneath your arms and everything, so you can like support your body as you're being lifted up. So she helps with that.
I mean, it gives her an excuse to get really close to Thomas.
Yeah.
She likes the shy ones, doesn't she?
Well, no, it's more along the lines of you are amusing to her in some sort of little way, and she never like touches you inappropriately because you've already said no once, and she respects that. But you do smell really nice.
That's true. I did get that really fancy perfume.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, you can't blame her.
No, I can't. Thomas can. So
That plus making you feel uncomfortable or this way gives Narish a little bit of a kick.
I think it gives them both kicks.
That's exactly right.
Wait, wrong knot.
That's true. I could see her doing that too. So you guys begin ascending the mountain.
Absent-mindedly making an. Oh, never mind. Let's start over.
You two ascend the mountain with the help of your friends. And past lunch, heading into the evening, because you past lunch, past the afternoon hours, heading into the evening, you guys are starting to cross over. All right, so now we're on the side of the mountain where there is no sun, because you've climbed up and over. And one of the first things you notice, it's getting cold. Like,
good thing I have a jacket.
You're going, well, then, Kodrog, you notice it. You got goosebumps, man.
Chill bumps.
Chill bumps. As you're heading down this side of the mountain, at some point, because the shadow... Yeah, after I finish with this. As you've in the shadow now, so it's a lot darker. The sun's still up, and you can tell, but at some point, your breath is in front of you.
Uh-oh.
All right. So, Arya and Narish are both not dressed for cold weather. They're dressed for being on a ship. So
I
is
I
Kodrog.
think the only person who's dressed like warm and comfortably is Thomas, because he has a long jacket, and this jacket's... He's got boots, pants, jacket, gloves, hat. He's set.
Yes.
And
So-
his collar's up.
So,
Like-
Kodrog, Narish, and Arya must make a toughness check at +2.
Okay, I don't know what that means.
So you add 2 to this number, and you're trying to roll that or below.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Well, I did.
So wait, to my
Narish.
toughness or my
Yeah.
to my toughness save?
To your toughness save.
Oh no.
Okay,
Narish
good.
got a 16.
Ooh, that was
Wow.
almost a crit fail. Almost.
9,
It's just
10. So I got 10 out of
I
12.
got a
No,
9
sorry.
out of 10.
Yeah, 10 out of 12.
Awesome. Arya and Kodrog, you both, you guys are.
We are cold. This is not great.
Yeah, this is not okay. But Narish, on the other hand, is like, and he is physically shaking at this point in time as you guys are going into what now looks like little bits of snow on the ground and whatnot on this side of the mountain. Well, it's not snow; it's just
Yeah.
really freaking cold. There's
Yeah,
no sunlight
there's
on this
no-
side.
It's just cold.
There's never a sun on this side.
Well, there is at sunset. Just like
Just
it
at the last
it
moment, yeah.
breaches over the thing. So, yeah, Arya is going to have him like shift his pack around, and then she's just gonna jump on his back and kind of like spider monkey around to keep herself and him a little warmer.
While that's happening, Thomas is looking through. That's what it's called. One of his tomes, seeing if he can help out the team with magic. I don't think I have anything. written down.
Fireball.
You do fireball.
Well,
Is that
there's
right?
like, I know that I've invented like bubbles that like allow you to breathe certain type of things.
Well, how about we take a short break, and when we get back, we'll figure out exactly what spell that is.
All right. So we're gonna take a quick break. That may or may not be 10 minutes. Who knows? Oh, but wasn't there a salve that was protection? Quite possibly. We will find out once we return. Haha!
Wah!
into a messenger bag.
Welcome
Then I would send the
back, everybody.
Hey!
Hey guys, we're doing some stuff.
We are doing stuff. I think that was
I'm-
my cue to do something.
I'm Cassie. That's Max. John's right there.
Wine.
And
There. He's right there.
There's a
John, yeah,
there-
down there.
there's a page somewhere.
Is gone. But that's okay, because we're just gonna go on anyway. We did a whole pre-ramble, and now we're just gonna push right through.
Push on through to the other side. Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
So, last we
chair.
left off in our before our break, they were making their way around the mountain.
Yes.
It's the only way to go.
Narish had failed his. Narish is cold, and Arya is assisting
Yes.
by pressing her body against him. And Kodrog just gets to shiver.
Yep.
No one's
Shivery
going
timbers.
to hug Kodrog.
I mean, it's okay. Like, if it gets worse, I'm sure I'll find some body heat to share with somebody, Thomas.
Okay. All right.
I'm back.
At least another hour or two, rough countryside, trees, and Thomas, what did you make your awareness check earlier? You said it was
It was like it was bad. It was like
It was like a 11 or a 13, one of the two.
I think it was 13
Yeah.
out of what?
Out of
Oh.
no skill.
wasn't
No,
that
the awareness,
no?
not
Oh,
the
the awareness?
athletics.
Oh, no, the awareness was,
I have no
I didn't
idea.
actually do an awareness roll yet.
I was gonna say I don't think I did mine.
You
No,
did.
she did. It was either barely failing or barely passing, one of the two. I can't remember.
Because my awareness is 13.
I want to say you got like an 11 out of 13.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
and I just got an 11 out of 14. So
And then you made double digits in your climb check.
Yeah,
So,
your climb
that's
check was
fine.
terrible.
Yeah.
So you guys are going across this rough country, getting to a position where you can see the entire side of the mountain, getting ready for the sun to start to set, and you guys come across man, what am I about to say? Now I remember. As you guys are heading into that location, you can see that one of those large cats that you were trying to avoid has taken the ridge about a few hundred yards behind the direction you guys are coming from. And you see it, and upon, of course, pointing it out to everyone else, Kodrog, you recognize that the cat creature is watching the ground and seems to be following a trail. It stops, it noses the ground, it moves, it noses the ground again.
Side note. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I did find a spell that was already in our spell list to help with cold and weather.
Oh, right, what is it?
It's here. I'll post it here. It's I believe it's a song of the Cloaked.
Oh, yes.
So I'd have to sing it, but Thomas doesn't mind.
yes, sing for us, Thomas.
Here, I'll post it
for our
in
wall.
our public chat too. I mean, he would sing it in Marseille just to make it even more ominous.
That would actually be more romantic.
It would be very, very...
Yeah, because it's French.
fluid.
Yeah, it would be very oui croissant.
Oui,
Sorry
oui,
to all our
croissant.
French viewers.
Say bye-bye, everyone. GM Cat has made their appearance, and now they will leave. Bye-bye.
I love
She has
that cat.
adjusted the game plans accordingly.
But Thomas, yeah, he'll begin to sing it in Marseille, and then I guess all three of you, because you guys were having problems. All three of you are suddenly are cloaked in this red fabric, like a jacket almost.
I imagine it kind of vaguely ripples in a flame,
Yeah,
like
pretty
the
much.
fabric coloration does.
Yes.
That would
I
look
like it.
sexy.
That is
Real
sexy.
sweet velvet.
All right. Now being warm does not change the fact that one of those large predatory cats seems to be following your trail. More about 500 or plus yards behind you, you can definitely make eye contact on it that it is sniffing. You have probably an hour before the sun begins to set, and you believe that you are in a good place to see the entire side of the mountain. What would you like to do?
Is it likely that we will be able to reach our goal
You're here.
today? Oh, we're
You're
here?
You're on this side of the mountain. You can see the whole thing. And it was said that when the sun
yeah.
sets, the whole mountainside will open up.
Okay. I don't know.
You have like an hour before the sun sets, and this cat thing is following your trail.
Well, yeah, that's fine.
That doesn't-
I mean, it's just a wild animal following a trail.
That's fine.
Is there anything that we can build a fire out of? Like, is there
Yes.
like kindling available? Okay, so yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Let's set up a little brief camp. We'll warm up by the fire, even though we've got these excellent cloaks now.
Magical cloaks.
Yeah, the fire will help keep away the wild animal.
Excellent. That's what I actually wanted to hear. A fire to help
Yeah.
keep away the wild animals. All right, no dice rolls.
Except for the monkeys.
They're not coming on this side. They'll be
Fucking
snacking.
monkeys.
Curious little monkeys, man.
All right, setting up the fire. Make a survival roll. No, I'm kidding. You don't roll
No.
to start a fire. That'd be terrible. What
you,
happens
have
if
a,
you
you have
botched?
a mage with you.
What if you botched?
Yeah,
I set fire
fireball.
to myself. All right.
I set
The-
fire to my new velvet cloak made of fire.
Fire setting up, making a small, just hanging out, clearing out brush and whatnot in an area, and then at some point you realize that the sun has cleared the edge of the mountain, and quickly the bright orange color begins rolling across this side of the mountain, which is really, really flat, like incredibly flat.
It's like
to the
it's almost like a
appearance.
cliff face with like a narrow trail.
And it's crawling and it's crawling and it's crawling, and as it crawls across this solid flat piece of stone over the course of the next few minutes, at some point it hits a break that you can't see, this flat stone, and then suddenly it's like a shadow begins stretching out in the shape of a door, as if a door was swinging open, and you realize that there's two cliff facings, two flat pieces of stone so close together that you can't see them just with the naked eye, but if it's because the sun is casting this shadow, it makes it look like a door just swung open.
Oh,
And it's swinging and it's swinging and so you guys are a distance away, but you've got a direction which to go. So the only thing you have to do now is a simple survival check and make it by it. You can fail up to 2, and you keep on course toward where the shadows split.
Survival?
That's cool.
Yes.
All right, so what's the default?
5. So you, can,
12.
so you can make a 7.
Alright, got an 8.
Okay. What about Thomas? What about Thomas's survival roll? That ain't happening. Right?
I don't have survival.
Neither does Codrug.
I might actually. Hold on. I might.
Oh, maybe there's a spell for it.
I'm just thinking because he spent times with the druids. Nope, I don't.
All right.
Sounds like more than 5.
I got a 6, I got a 5, and I got a 4.
Awesome. One
We
dice
all
makes
freeze
it.
to death.
You all freeze to death. End of game. No. So you all are like, it's over there. We gotta head this direction. So group-wise begin plotting your course and moving toward that side of the mountain, kind of trying to keep a beeline. But in your intent to get there as quickly as possible and stay as focused as possible, the fleeting rays of the sun, as they disappear over the edge of the aisle, you run into one very important piece of information. People can't see in the dark. So as you're heading in that direction, keeping it, focused,
It's just like, hey.
at some point you're like, man, it's getting really dark. I'm not sure we're on the right course anymore.
Oh no! And nobody thought to bring a torch.
You left your fire behind you.
Yep.
Yep.
Does anybody
Thought
want
we could
to?
make it.
Anybody want to take a moment and create a light source?
Yeah, I'll do it. Before I do this, though, I gotta...
I'd have to go back to the fire and get some fire and bring it back.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
so do I.
have 1 mana left over. Because I did 2 to yell at the monkeys. Unless I slept through that.
No, you
Then I
got your
get that
mana
too,
back
but-
from that after that. So
Okay, cool. And then I'm guessing... 3 for 3 people for cloaks.
no, it's just one. You sang the entire time. It's not 3 cloaks. It's just the song. You're gonna cast a
sweet.
spell, and listeners. It gloves the listener, so everybody who is listening to it and able to hear the song, it was protecting them.
Okay. That's fair. I'm going to create light. A caster forms a lantern-like object, conjuring branches to trap the small ball of light. The branches curve and bend to the form of a lantern shape. The lantern floats next to the user, keeping their hands free.
All right.
Nice.
With the
It's a
brilliant
druid.
light coming from this lantern and now heading toward the cliff facing, it definitely, because you guys are like, you definitely feel that your direction you're not sure of. But as you're moving in that direction, slowly steps, trying to figure it out, starting kind of like bicker among yourselves, Arya points out that she's very confident about, she knows the direction which to go. She's saying, no, it is this way. And you're like, no, I thought it was more this way. Arya feels that she has the best understanding of which direction it is. And Nerys will easily default to her guidance. What about you two?
I mean, she's a cat person, right? Can't she see in the dark a little bit?
That's not how cats work.
That's not how cat works. But because you're light, she sees pretty well, just like everyone else.
Do you know what? Like, I am not confident in my choice of direction. So
Neither am I,
if
so-
she is confident, I'll trust her. We'll see where it goes.
All you gotta do is just keep your hand on the wall.
Yep. She walks up. You go for it. Go for it.
So you see, you see that there's the tiniest break in paths, so that's and it's both on the same plane, and one leads to a jutting thing that leads outwards a little bit, and the other one stays pretty tight towards the wall, and everyone's about to go to the other way because that's where you see that big overhang, but then she's like, no, all you gotta do is just keep on the wall, just touch the wall, caress the wall, everyone. It will guide your way.
And as she's doing this, you see what she's talking about as she just makes this turn into the wall. It's like she just disappears into it.
Oh, it's like the labyrinth. Okay.
And as you walk over to look where she's at, the stone around where she's at and the opening all match perfectly
as
up. And it's
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a labyrinth trick.
It's an optical illusion.
Exactly.
Yes.
Nerys is just
Oh,
shocked. He's
man.
like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
It's magic, but not magic.
Stonework worthy of the dwarves.
Maybe it is
I was just-
dwarven.
In the back just goes, it's optical illusion. Your brain and your eyes don't. They don't, they can't recognize it. It's like if a square isn't a square and you see a circle.
A square
Says
isn't a
the-
square.
Says the mage.
Of
Don't worry,
course.
it's mage talk, dear.
It sounds like magic.
It's actually just your brain okay. Unless you consider your brain magic, then,
Life is magic.
The brain is an important tool. It makes mucus.
It also can make a good breakfast.
It can also think of everything and make everything work in
Goat
your
brains.
All right.
Yep.
As
A
you
good-
guys are walking down this
Goat
tiny
brain
path,
rule.
talking about biology, your voices echo through the canyon behind you, and you begin noticing that the pathway, which twists, and the light from the magic lantern illuminating us all, it's no longer natural, but definitely hewn passageway.
So it was like a split in the rock, but then somebody came in and did.
Thomas,
Yes.
the level, Kodrog, the level carving that this made is incredibly precise. You don't see edges that were used by a tool. This carving might be magical.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. So I'm gonna break out my little jewel lens as we're walking past and look at the stonework to see if I see any tool marks as I'm walking by.
No tool marks.
Magnificent.
The passageway leads into a tunnel, and the tunnel leads to a door. These double doors are made of stone, leather, and wood. They are ornate. On either side, there are stone statues of men in armor, humans in full plate mail, shields, and swords. These statues are guardians or protectors. At the bottom of the statues are words. To the one to the left, it says Roagon, and the one to the right says Zelagar. On each of them, written in a non-dwarven text. What languages do you know, guys?
I think I know Keshan, Marseille, and Common.
Okay.
And then I can read. I thought I could read. I want to say Elvish, but I'm horribly wrong.
I think
Yeah.
that you can.
I can
he's
read
reading,
Elvish.
yes.
Yep.
Oh man. Oh, here we go. Languages: Dwarven, read, speak; Takiao, read, speak; Signal, I can speak, and I can speak Can't.
Excellent. At the bottom of these statues, under these names, in Elvish, are the words protect, asking for the gods, to protect this place from all prying eyes. Not magical, mind you, but just asking the gods to bless it. Elven gods, most likely, because it's written in Elven.
There was elven writing all over that place where we found that smaller ship, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
it's at
your
least
mind's clicking.
familiar.
You're like, oh, I recognize this stuff. So Arya and Nerys, I don't think they would recognize it.
No, it's very pretty.
The
And
doors.
the stone. Sorry.
Let me finish one more bit of the description, and then we can go from there. The doors are made of metal brackets. They're wood doors covered in metal brackets, and they are locked, but they are open, cracked open, as if they have been ajar. There are signs of wear, and near the base of the doors and the top of the doors, you can see jab marks and bend marks in the metal, as if someone has jabbed in and began prying at the door to pop it open, at both the top and the bottom. Nearby on the grounds, you see pitons, and you can see hammer marks on the hinges. The hinges are inside the door, but you can see somebody's been banging away with pitons and hammers at these doors. And now the doors are left open. And that's the description. Okay, I'm done.
Oh man. Okay. So the stonework at the last elven sanctuary also looked magically done, right? Okay.
It was no tool marks or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I will scrunch up real close to Thomas and tippy toe up to shoulder level. I think this is another elven place.
Possibly. I mean, the words are Elvish.
The names aren't. They're written in dwarvish lettering.
Well, also, isn't one of them the guy that we were looking for?
Roagon is the name you're looking for, and underneath
We
his,
found him.
it
Yeah.
also says, the same thing. In Elvish, may the gods bless this place from prying eyes.
Well,
Which Thomas will tell Kodrog that that's what it says, and
you speak
and
Elvish.
that those are the names, and he'll point out the one statue that has Roagog's name, and just be like, yeah, that's the same name of the person we're looking for currently.
I do want to point out these statues do not look similar to the statues you saw at the other place. Those statues seem to be generic elves. These are men in armor. Could be elves in armor, but you saw at the other place, the funeral place, none of those elves were wearing any type of protection.
Well, didn't we learn about a human that like protected them?
Yes, that was his burial place.
Yeah.
The
What was
elves-
his name? Did we get a name?
Oh god, that's like really
Yeah,
long time ago.
It was not a
I'm-
name that you've seen within any of what's happening right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Totally different. Okay.
Yes. Totally different.
Alright.
So I'm gonna point out the Primarchs and the Patons and the opening, and I'm pretty sure we're not the first ones here. We should probably proceed with caution.
All right, Narish
And
will
find-
say, and he readies
Find the
his weapons.
non-statue Roagon.
Yeah, I'm not surprised people would be looking for him. He's hidden his home quite well. There's obviously something else other than working for, a company or business or kingdom. And now you're not, and you probably have all those secrets. Yeah, he's definitely being hunted by something.
All right, Narish will move toward the door. The light's behind him, so he's going to move up and start peeking through. And then he whispers back toward everyone else, I see a hall. There are murals on the walls, and there's trash on the floor. He says quietly as he possibly can, realizing now that you're saying there might be people here. All right,
Yeah,
let's
so
roll
I'll-
awareness.
It is 10.
Everyone's awareness?
Yeah, you can make awareness checks, but Arya has superior hearing, and Narish is up next to the door. Arya, of course, can hear the rats moving about, but she can't hear footsteps or people. But there is an echoey sound,
A scraping sound.
like a scraping sound.
I got 12 out of 13. Actually, I'm an idiot. I got 13 out of 13. I'm an idiot. Sorry.
What'd you get, John?
17 on a 14.
Fantastic.
We're both
Yeah.
doing terrible.
You
Thank God
are
we have a
enamored
two.
by the statues and the prospect for more cool elfin shit. This is awesome. We found an
I
awesome
hope we
little
find
ship
another
next
boat.
time. Maybe we'll find something like that too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So that
Whereas-
your mind is...
And then Arya and Narish are in full on mercenary mode.
And Thomas, you're paying attention, but you can't see much of what's going on because they're up by the door, and you're looking around at this placement, and you don't see any other passageways or secret passages from where you're at. So you're
Do
pretty
I-
sure the only direction you could go is in through those double doors.
Do I feel or sense magic?
All right, spellcrafting roll.
Isn't that just seeing just normal?
You still have to roll, yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Arcana, there we go.
Arcana.
Sorry, I'm looking at all my other stuff and I'm like, that doesn't seem right. Like, I don't even see where my... there it is, Arcane. Sorry, not Arcana. Two different things. 8 out of 15.
There's more magic here than there should be. That's the first thing you
Is it-
notice. But it's not directed into a spell.
Okay, is it like the magic that I felt in the old elven place?
Yes.
Okay. Then yeah, Thomas will kind of not tense up, but get, I don't know, nostalgic feeling, and then he'll lean over to Kodrog and basically say, "This feels exactly like the other place that we were in."
No telling what treasures are inside.
Well, I would focus on the person first. If this person's actually being hunted and they know what they're getting into, this could be a situation like, well, the youngest princess, where they don't know that they're elvish.
Yeah, let's not ever say that out loud again.
But we're not gonna get anywhere. We're not gonna get anywhere by standing here.
Thanks for
Agreed.
the follow, Pope World.
Yes.
Appreciate you.
All right. Narish, looking to the two of you, looking toward Kodrog, waits for like some sort of sign as he's right next to the door, ready to push it open and step in.
Yeah, I'll nod to him.
All right, so he begins pushing the door open slowly, enough that more light can get in, and then he's going to look back at you guys and whirl into the room kind of quickly, still standing in a position with his fists ready and up as he slides in. From where you're standing, you can see he lowers his fist, almost either in fear or reverence at stuff that he's looking at. But then you see his face, and he's like, his mouth is open, like, wow.
Oh man!
And he starts stepping in with his fist down. You can tell he's not in a dangerous situation as far as he can tell. So who's next to step in?
Arya would probably follow since they were back there with things. Be like making sure that there's nothing amiss.
Yeah. And I'll go in third with my maul axe drawn.
Okay. Arya will have her crossbow ready. I'm assuming she would ready her crossbow. Thomas, you bring in the rear with the light, and you see before you, the entranceway is about 30 foot wide and about 15 to 20 feet high. The ceiling itself is domed with really cool buttresses, and there are statues to either side. The statues have been ravaged, chipped off. Their outer layer has been chipped away. You can still tell that the statues themselves are men in armor, but for whatever reason, somebody has taken a chisel and knocked all the outside pieces to them off. Murals going down the hallway and whatnot also seem to have been attacked either by time or tools.
Time or tools.
You can see the hallway is closes from about 30 foot wide down to 10 foot wide with a 10 foot high ceiling and continues on down the way. There are statues, bits of rock on the ground. As you begin moving around Kodrog, the first thing that catches your attention is a glint from a piece of stonework on the ground. Getting a bit of a closer examination because of the light coming through the door, you see that there is gold fleck on this piece of stonework, and it looks like it would match the statues, as if the statues were covered in gold and now have had their entire outside knocked off.
Oh wow. Okay. Is it kind of like all the stone was covered in gold leaf, or is there like gold veins in the stone?
The covered in gold leaf.
Okay.
And maybe there was stuff in the mule and people decided to knock that down as well. The tunnel before you stretches well beyond 60 foot. I do believe it's like 180 foot in total. Thomas's light will be able to cover 40, 80 of that, so half of the tunnel. I'm giving you an idea of the actual length of the tunnel ahead of time. Probably about 60 feet in, you guys can see alcoves down this tunnel with something in them. It might be statues, from what it looks like where you're at, too. The entire tunnelway is covered with broken pieces of fresco and bits of terracotta on the ground, broken pottery, and statue bits littered everywhere. So every step you make makes a crunching noise.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, Narish, come with me. We'll lead down the hallway. Master Thomas, if you'll keep the light in the middle, and Arya protect our rear.
Of course.
Don't just look at our butts.
That's exactly what I was thinking of, her just being like Oh, I'll protect them. And then just like
Oh,
looking at Thomas's,
but-
and Thomas is just trying to like put his bag over his hips so she can't see him.
For whatever reason, after you say that, Narish is like, I'll come. And then he looks over and goes, looking at Thomas, he chuckles openly.
Thomas is just standing there with the lantern in his hand, like, oh.
Like, laughing at me, man.
It's like he can read my thoughts.
All right.
Just your.
I thought I was magic.
your
So,
uncomfortableness.
Narish is going to stealth.
Okay.
Yeah, I am also going to.
Well, as Thomas sees you two bend down to stealth, Thomas just kind of whispers and he goes, do you want me to turn off the light or, kick the pottery to the side? This place echoes. This place is freaking quiet. I wouldn't be surprised if the person who lives here already knows we're here.
I wouldn't be surprised if he did.
No, I'm doing a wonderful job stealthing.
Are you? I guess it wouldn't be that bad if half of us stealth and the rest don't.
Well, no, it will be that bad because I got a 17-10, so.
You had a 17.
Yeah.
Crunch, 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 crunch. Narish is like, you tried to step in places where there are no... Never mind.
You know that
Right.
scene in Toy Story 2 where Bullseye steps on the Cheetos? That's you right now.
Well, like I'm wearing my one pair of boots. They've got grindstone all over the bottom. I'm just like clopping around the stone floors.
Yeah.
Who owns more than one pair of shoes?
Narish raises his hand.
Thomas raises his hand.
Oh.
Granted, Thomas is usually seen always in his grindstone boots because he's just too lazy to change his shoes.
Narish points out and says, well, now that you have that officer's pay, you should be able to buy more than one pair of shoes.
True. Maybe there's a cobbler in town I can stop by on the way out.
There you
Boat
go.
Shoes, walking shoes, mountain shoes. You could have a whole chest full of shoes.
Oh, I only have like 3 pair. I have one for the ship and one for traveling, which of course, ironically, I didn't bring. And then, fancy stuff, just in case if there's a ball that we have to go to.
Where you spend an evening with someone.
Or that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
An evening with someone.
Sometimes you just need to wear shoes, and that's it.
So we advance quite unstealthily.
Yep. You start walking down the hallway now.
I'm curious. I don't think I have stealth, but I'd like to stealth. I want to see what I get.
Arya's doing great with her stealthing because she's fallen back a little bit to watch everyone's rear as they clomp their way through the hallway.
I don't have stealth, but let's see what I get. Actually, no. Thomas isn't really trying.
Don't try them. I mean, yeah. It'll slow
Yeah,
you
Thomas
down
is
even
right.
if you fail. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
As you move a short distance down the hallway, you get to a point. There are 2 statues on both the left and right side. The statue to the left has no head, the one to the right does, and you notice that they have also seen the same level of defacement.
Do they have writing on the base?
What's that?
Do they have writing on the base?
No.
Ow.
Okay, so these are just unidentified vandalized statues.
That's correct.
All right, yeah, we'll continue down the hallway.
All right.
Now, as we're walking past these shadows, it does not shadows, but statues. It doesn't look like any of them are coming to life, right? Because that's a real concern.
Make a awareness roll.
Awareness?
Awareness. Boogeyman awareness roll.
Ooh, it's 11 on a 14.
Okay,
Man,
no.
we're rolling like great.
13 out of 10. So he's more focused on the
10
front.
out of 10.
10 out of 10. No, they don't animate. They don't come alive. What did Thomas get?
I mean, they've been.
Oh, I
broken
didn't
to
even roll
shit,
yet.
So.
Oh, you don't have to. You don't have to roll. You can be focused on the light and ready to throw a spell.
Yeah, pretty much. Thomas, I mean, he'll look at the statues and go, ooh, but, like, he's magical, and I think if he thinks that a statue would come alive, it would be in his, like, magical radar,
It
and
would.
it would be like,
You'd
ding,
been
ding, ding, ding,
That
you know?
statue right
Plus,
there.
if they were magically alive, then maybe they would have fought to keep their armor on.
Or
Yeah, touche.
Yeah.
Or right ear.
Thomas, your attention has mostly been to the fresco itself, going along the sides of the wall. You see that they seem to be depicting two people and a retinue of others. The others don't seem to repeat too much, but the two people do. You see a man in armor, pretty big plate mail, helm, sword, shield, halberd sometimes, pike other times, horses, lances, crossbow, javelin, ballista. This man seems to be using them all. And then the other person, old dude, big gray beard, gray robes, pointy hat.
Gray robes or purple robes?
I'm sorry, purple robes.
Yeah, this isn't Gandalf.
Purple robes, pointed hat, casting like blasts of lightning,
Oh, man.
walls of fire, and almost...
At him?
No,
At the armored guy?
no.
Sorry.
At scenes of fighting dragons, sending off hordes of barbarians, destroying
Yep.
giants.
As if the two of them are working together to fight the most dangerous of things.
Can I roll college knowledge of
Do you recognize?
fucking
Do I recognize
old
that was-
wizards that I've studied and shit? Yeah, I would imagine some professors like, and great Peripheus sided with Alistair the Brave.
Sure,
Like,
sure. I mean, a history roll. Yeah, go for it.
I think it would be history.
I would say it's history.
I went to college, but I don't have
college
any.
roll.
I don't have any fucking points in history.
Just roll. I mean, you're digging for a name at this point in time.
I don't know. I feel bad that he doesn't have that in his arsenal of things that he knows.
He wasn't paying attention in school. He didn't like school.
Yeah, but if he learned about other wizards adventuring, I feel like he would actually care.
That was a final semester kind of teaching thing. I don't think you made it that far.
Yeah, you were already over it.
I left right when that happened.
Yeah, there you go.
Alright. 9 out of 5, I guess.
It's not an uncommon occurrence to have some sort of, wizard warrior, wizard cleric duel. It's always some wizard teaming up with somebody else because they need some level of help. That would be the common mentality that you would have picked up in school.
Like this,
Wizards.
This guy hired a wizard so he didn't have
Yeah.
to work so hard, so he could look good with all of his shiny weapons, and the wizard can do the hard work.
Pretty much is what you pick up on. So, but you're not getting that from these murals. It looks like these two are a duo, a team, and they are doing stuff, saving people, fighting.
Like, beating the crap out of anything that stands in their way.
So that's where your awareness is right now, instead of paying attention to.
So it's
Oh, that's
slightly
fine.
different. It's slightly different than the
I mean, it's probably a
Experience, right?
refresher, and plus it's probably he's probably more into that because he probably secretly thinks this up like as his old smut books because
Oh, right.
a knight and a wizard together, and then like he keeps reading as these two better hook up as he's
right.
looking at the wall.
No, it's like you and Jason fighting a dragon together.
All right,
It's romantic.
John, and you got a what out of 14?
I don't recall. But it was less than
Great.
14. I think it was like a 10.
Okay. So, Thomas, you're paying attention to that. Nerys is doing is you're trying to stealth too. You're focused on what's ahead of you. Spoiler, it's a time travel cave, and the figures depicted in the fresco are Thomas and Kodo.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Yeah.
would be so cool.
We're caught
I
in
would
paradox.
imagine that's kind of what like Thomas's thought is like, oh well, I can imagine these two together, and then like he kind of with himself, and then he kind of tilts his head a bit, and then he looks at Kodrog, and then looks at the knight in the picture and goes, "Yeah, if he was smaller, like if he was shorter."
And then you notice the knight in the picture has a big long braid in the front and the back.
Yeah, yeah, and he's like, "Wait a minute."
Kodrog, you see a light ahead of you.
Oh.
So as you're creeping, crunching, walking,
Creeping and crunching.
you're walking, you're looking ahead. The light from Thomas's lamp is so bright, but you think you see I think that might be my
It
phone
is
over
yours.
I was gonna say, are you guys playing music on Roll20? Because I'm not getting anything in Roll20.
Yeah, I've got music on Roll20.
What? Why didn't I get music in Roll20?
I don't know. It's like slightly creepy. There's
Fair.
music.
You can see, you think you see a light ahead of you, but you can't tell because of Thomas's torch, the giant lantern thing.
Oh. Thomas, douse the light.
Thomas twirls his wrist and it disappears.
All right. You all are light blinded for just a moment, but Kodrog, you're paying attention enough. Yes, ahead of you, you see two dim torches and figures in the hallway. Several alcoves away and a flight of stairs up, you can see an intersection. Your eyes strain against the darkness, and you can see what looks to be people lying on the ground, maybe bodies, the scene of a combat scene of some type, and some people are picking through the remains. And there it is.
Oh my.
You see a Keshin. You see some armored people. They have weapons. There's about 4 of them.
Does the Keshin look familiar?
No, it's too far, too dark.
Oh,
You don't
man.
know if they've seen you or not.
Well, if they don't seem immediately concerned, I'm assuming that they haven't noticed us.
All right.
Yeah. Well, do we want to end it on this cliffhanger?
You do.
Do.
Yeah.
And we are.
Ooh.
Spoopy moment.
Spoopy. So spoopy.
So, my honest first inclination is to make ghost sounds and pretend that this place is
Yeah,
haunted. but
that's exactly what I was thinking too.
Oh my god, can we not go Scooby-Doo? You know what, go Scooby-Doo,
We're
whatever.
going full Scooby.
It's it's the month of Spooktober.
Okay,
Let it
no,
happen.
you're right. That's why I said do it. Oh my goodness.
God. Y'all are y'alls.
Yep.
Y'all are y'all.
So,
Y'all for sure.
We will confirm our next date because the convention that I was supposed to go to next week is not happening.
Yes, and we need to talk to
And so we will confirm when our next game will be, but at the very least, our next game will be in 2 weeks
There you go.
on the 19th.
on the 19th. But
Yeah.
if everybody is doing stuff, we will figure out other things. Huzzah!
Huzzah.
You could always
Nah.
do a small, same world session if you really wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, like, perhaps we will discuss, but we will be back for sure, 100% positive in 2 weeks.
On the 19th.
On the 19th, so be here for it, and we will be doing some awesome dungeon delving.
Root.
Woo!
You can't play Dungeons and Dragons style games without having the dungeon involved somewhere.
Or encounters with
Or
monkeys.
encounters with
You know what monkeys have that humans tend to not have?
Rabies.
Poopy
That,
fingers.
and they smell terrible, and I think I know
Oh.
somebody who could help out with that.
You know what? I think I know somebody too. That's me. Guess what, people? I sell great smelling soaps. You want them. You want to smell so great that, like, you know, it's legendary. So great for your character that it's legendary. You can have that experience in game and out of game by going over here and creating your character. Your
Do
character
it.
can be immortalized in themed fragrances, and I swear to God, if you don't buy them and you go to a game shop and you smell things that you don't want to smell, please direct them to my website. Because it's needed. I have now decided I am fighting a battle of stanky game shops. That's my
God.
new goal.
Stinky game shop.
Stanky game shops. I am
Yeah.
going to eliminate them one person at a time.
The
Yeah!
game shop stink. Not the people. She's not killing people. This is directed to her FBI agent that watches her all the time. She's not killing people. Just cleaning the stank up.
Just cleaning the stank up. That's my new life's RPG themed soap goal. Cleaning the stank up. So please join me in my quest to get rid of stanky gamers by going to my website and getting yourself some awesome soaps. Boom. That's what I got.
All right. Well, let's let Paige.
Oh man, Paige is doing some really freaking great artwork. In fact, she just did an artwork that she posted on her Instagram, and we're gonna buy because it's great and it's part of our awesome universe.
Yeah.
So, if you want to have some great artwork, boom, Paige, take it away.
Hi, I'm Paige. I draw for a living, as Cassie said. I do many different things. I mainly do character creations, but I've been trying to get into putting in backgrounds and stuff, which is hard. But you know, it's a trial. Right now I'm doing Inktober, but you can find everything here. And hold on, I gotta cut out one thing. Damn it. Fuck. Control Z.
It's okay, there's a buffer, time buffer, it's fine.
Yeah, and cut. You can find me everything on here, and you can even contact me on Discord and be like, hey, I heard you draw. I want to buy your work. Or, you know, once you hear the prices of certain art pieces or the commissions, and you're like, hey, $20 because that's the cheapest you can get. $20 is too much for me at the moment, but I love your work. How can I support you and keep you going and help you buy fucking amazing art pens that I want to get so badly? You can go on Patreon and help me out there. If you also do that, you'll get exclusive you'll see Inktober things before Instagram does. Which Instagram is where I post like finished shit.
Oh man.
If you want to see in progress and early finished shit, go onto Patreon, donate, then you get all that fun stuff. You also get to hang out with 3 awesome people that are on my Patreon right now. Thank you to Palmer, Carl, and I think William. That off the top of my head.
Also, that means if you're a patron and she posts up her work to Patreon first, you got first dibs at buying that stuff.
It's true. Definitely true. You guys also, sooner or later, I'm going to be posting a special, like, sale for Patreon that's not going to be on Instagram. So if you want to be on Patreon and be like, oh, she's going to have a possible Halloween Inktober special, then you could be there and you could be like, hey, guess what? I'm going to buy that shit. It's for all my past Inktober stuff because I still have them. But yeah, okay. So first come, first serve, but only on Patreon. So,
cool.
Yeah. That's me. Also, you can find me here on Shadowcasters Network. I am normally, if you know my face, you better know my face either from my artwork or from Join the Anarchy. Mm-hmm. If you know me from here, that's awesome. But I normally do Join the Anarchy, but since Season 2 has ended, we're doing Cyberpunk Red. Yes, based off of the video games. And lore and stuff. And Oz isn't directing this one. It's Travis who's doing this one. And he's been doing fantastic. And the cast is fantastic. And we all dress up.
Yes.
So if you want to see me in a punky Brewster rocker chick, come by next Monday. Not this one, but the next one. That's it. That's all I do.
All right.
Thank you for listening.
Woo! I don't have anything cool to plug. You can find
That's
me
not
on
true.
other. Wait.
It's not true. You have to plug Droid Revolution.
Oh, right. Okay. So, after my work trip this week, which I will be gone for, unfortunately, we will be picking back up our Star Wars game, and the next Star Wars game is ZL's third backstory game, where I free my people.
Yes.
Yeah.
So tune in; it'll be fun.
Liberation Army is forming. Next Star Wars episode. Be there.
That's true. So yeah, stay tuned.
Heck yeah.
My love.
Soon I will be having a new Deadlands game up on my channel. I don't have dates.
Oh, man.
I have Rusty from Shadowcasters Network.
Rusty, a freelance.
He's a freelance writer for Shadowrun
and other things.
Other things. Come hang out with us on our Discord.
He also does the Sea of Spears on.
He does
this
Sea of
channel.
Spears on the Shadowcasters Network. Plug for Rusty. Sarah Cross is she is a producer.
She's a producer of
movies.
And she is
currently working on one for
a
Shadowrun.
Shadowrun-esque. She's not allowed to use the trademark, however,
She's
everybody
definitely-
knows what's happening.
It's Shadowrun.
It's gonna be a Shadowrun.
She's really awesome. Love you, Sarah.
Yes. So
and I got
excited.
2 other gamers with me. An old gamer from back in the days when I was part of a corporation called Smoking Dice. And he's a good friend of mine. And we also have Soy Mage, who's been in our audience a number of times. He'll be joining us as well. It's a Deadlands game. If you don't know what Deadlands is, definitely come check us out. Pay attention to our schedule. And if you want to join our Discord,
Yeah, I got a Discord stuff, man. I can get a link.
yes. And if you join our Discord, hang out with us. We can chat about stuff. We talk about game ideas, game concepts, talking about rule mechanics, as well as coming up with ideas for game masters and helping each other out as far as game masters go.
right.
Jump on and join us and chat with us. Let's see.
Appreciate you.
Definitely appreciate you. Also, over on Original Box Set, we have our Zero session for Cypher coming up this Wednesday. So if you want to come hang out and see what Cypher is all about,
Cypher System. It's
Yeah.
a system that was made by Monty Cook, who, if you all know who Monty Cook is, if you don't, he was one of the main writers for 3.5 Dungeons and Dragons, along with Bruce Cordell.
yeah. We're skewed. Our cameras are skewed.
Yeah,
Oh, that's fine. It doesn't
something
matter
happened.
anymore. I don't care. We'll do this. Let's see. Does that work? Did that work? No? I don't understand anymore.
Well, that's okay.
I don't know. Click over there now and see if it fixed it. Nope, didn't fix it.
Irrelevant.
Anyways,
It doesn't matter. Who
We're almost
cares?
done.
We're doing
Yay.
it. We're leaving anyway. God, I hate.
Yeah.
Don't understand why that happened.
Accept
Just
it.
keep going.
It doesn't matter. Anyways.
There's our stuff. Discord. I think we're done now.
Yep, we're done. We're leaving. Have
Bye,
a good
everybody.
night, everyone. Thanks for joining
Good
us in the
night.
Shattered Isles. We will see you in 2 weeks. Bye.
Woo!